If you're anything like me, you might find grocery shopping to be a total pain. Finding the time to go, finding someone to watch your kids, because, bringing little ones with you to go grocery shopping is really not fun. And also just doing it right, finding the food that you need, that you want at a good price, and meal planning, all of it just becomes a little bit much, right, for a working mom who just has limited time to do anything these days. However, food is one of the biggest expenses in a family budget. In fact, the average American household spends $4,000 a year just on groceries. And of course, that's kind of on the lower end, I find, for a lot of families. The more kids you have, the more mouths you have to feed, the more expensive your grocery bill is. And unfortunately, a lot of people tend to waste the groceries that they buy, whether you're buying fresh foods that you just don't have time to consume, or you just don't use all your ingredients when you're cooking. Any food that you throw away is a total waste of money. So grocery shopping effectively can help you save time and save money and reduce food waste, which isn't just good for your wallet, it's obviously good for the environment too. So I have a few easy grocery shopping hacks to help you save time and money. You can start using them today. My first tip might surprise you. The first thing that you want to do before you go grocery shopping is to look at your calendar. Figure out what days and nights you actually need lunch and dinner prepared. You might have an after work meeting where the business is covering your dinner, so you're not going to need dinner at home. You might have an evening dinner with a family planned, or maybe a pizza party for your kids' soccer team. These types of things you need to take into consideration when you're meal planning and buy less food for that week. The next thing you want to do is to start meal planning. Think about the different meals that you want to make for the week. Look for meals that actually use overlapping ingredients. What that means is, if you're buying a certain vegetable or fruit for a meal, think about different options using that same produce so that you can make sure you use it up in its entirety and get the most value from it. If you're having trouble thinking about meals, look online. There are so many sites that you can find free recipes, or you could subscribe to a meal planning service like emeals.com, or there's even the Fresh 20. These types of services can help you meal plan more effectively, or at least get you in the rhythm, and then you can cancel and start doing it on your own once you figure it out. You need to then create your shopping list. But when you're putting together your shopping list, spend some time reviewing your pantry and look in your fridge or your cupboards to figure out what ingredients you already have. You might even want to do this before you pick out your recipes, because then you might be able to plan what you're going to cook based on what you already have at home. Supercook.com is a great site because they'll actually find recipes based on the ingredients you already have. So that's another useful tool and things that you want to do before you get to the grocery store. Now, once you get to the grocery store, a few little things can actually tweak how much you spend. A lot of you might go just for that big shopping cart, but the bigger the cart, the more likely you're to fill it up with things you really don't need, those impulse purchases. Even just like an extra $10, $20, $30 here, if you spend that on a weekly basis, you're adding a few extra $100 a month to your grocery bill. So use that handbasket for those smaller trips. This way you limit the amount of room you have for those impulse purchases. And once it starts getting heavy, you might realize you're adding too many things in there. Also, don't shop hungry. I know that's a tip that you oftentimes hear, but seriously, when you're hungry, you're more likely to pick up those extra box of cookies or crackers or chips and salsa that you really don't need. That'll also help you, avoid those unhealthy foods. If you find that you're hungry, go grab a granola bar or an apple or something like that. Buy that, eat really quickly, and then go on your shopping way. Now, when you're looking for your proteins, avoid those prepackaged meats. So anything that's already cubed or pre-seasoned, the price per unit is actually higher. So look at larger slabs of meat or, bigger pieces of chicken that haven't already been pre-cut or pre-seasoned. That's going to be a lot less expensive. Look for those manager markdowns. Fish, meat, chicken nearing its expiration date is going to oftentimes be marked down because they need to get it off the shelf. That means you can find a big savings there. Even if you don't cook it all at once, you can freeze it and use it at a later date while saving money. Also, think twice about what you're buying in bulk, especially when it comes to fresh food. If you don't consume it all before it goes bad, it's going to end up in the trash along with your money. So, buy your berries, other fruits, vegetables in smaller packages, and think about what you're actually going to consume. That also, ties in with your meal planning and having that shopping list. That's why it's so important to have those things. Now, if your recipe does call for, like, let's say a lot of potatoes, weigh the bags. Federal law actually requires that any foods sold in bulk have to, meet that minimum weight. And a lot of times there are some that will weigh more and they can't charge you more. So look for those heavier bulk bags. You also want to shop in season. So any produce that's in season for the spring is going to be less expensive. So take that into consideration also when you're putting together your meal plans and your food list. Now also, don't fall for end cap promotions. Not all items featured on the end caps are actual deals. These might simply be new offers that the store is promoting. So you just want to make sure that you're comparing it with other products and brands in the aisle where it's usually sold. This way you can find the best price on that for that type of product, whether it's rice, cereal, or soda. Something that a lot of people don't think about is to choose organic produce wisely. A lot of people want to eat healthier. They want to avoid those pesticides, which is great, but obviously organic food is expensive. Now, when it comes to select produce, you actually don't have to waste money on the organic option. When it comes to foods like avocados, bananas, and mangoes, they have tough, inedible peels in which the pesticides won't penetrate to get to the actual food that you eat. So in this case, you can go with the non-organics and save yourself money. Think about buying frozen fruits and vegetables. They may seem like a less healthy option, but they are flash frozen at peak ripeness, meaning that they have the same great nutrients as the fresh options, and oftentimes they cost about 30% less. You can find bulk bags of these offered by the store brands for a really great deal, and what's nice is that you have them on the ready in your freezer for whenever you have a last minute meal that you want to put together, like a stir fry or a smoothie. These are so great for those last minute meals. This way you don't have to rely on takeout. One last thought I want to leave you with is, how often do you review your receipt for potential errors? I've found that sometimes the grocery stores may not update their registers with their current sales. So I have bought a few things and then noticed later that I never got the deal that was advertised on the shelf. Sometimes it may have just been a 50-cent savings, $1, $2, or $3 savings that never got applied to my order. So look at your receipt or monitor when the food is being scanned to make sure that you're getting those deals. And if not, even if it's just 25 cents, go to the manager and get your money back. Remember, the store wouldn't let you walk out with any food that you didn't pay for, so there's no reason that you should have to overpay for something that was marked down that you didn't get. I hope these tips help you save on your next grocery shopping trip. And if I missed anything, let me know how you save on your groceries. I'd love to hear from you.